Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. This Brother Taza Pai here with you again with another lesson. And as we're here one day removed from the U.S. election for President of the United States, we see that the elite went with Donald J. Trump and appointed him as POTUS, all right, over Kamala Harris. You got people that are upset, crying and stuff, thinking that, if she would have just did this, or if more people would have got out to the polls and voted, and none of that has anything to do with what's going on, all right? So, now that we got Trump again for another 4 years, if America goes that long, all right, you have to wonder, well, what does this mean for America? And I'm just going to briefly go into it, a few prophecies just to show you, all right? And so we're just going to kick it off here, Daniel chapter 4, verse 17, which says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. All right? And that's what's going on right now. All right? We're in the kingdom, or under the rulership of the Edomites. All right? And thinking that you was going to go to vote, not only a woman, but a Elamite woman, posing as a black woman, and you thought that, she was going to be appointed. Well, that's all up to the Most High. That's all up to the Most High. And I said in the video, what was that, about 2 weeks ago, I did a video and said it would only make sense by way of prophecy that Donald J. Trump would win the election, or sit in that seat, because America is destined to be destroyed. And I ain't talking about generations from now, all right? Not even a decade from now. I don't even think America has another 4 years from now, okay? But again, with this being the Edomites, all right, and if you don't know who the Edomites are, they go around the world masquerading as the so-called white people, all right? Because they're so, well, like I just read, they're so base, they're so low, they're so vile, all right, that Job in the 30th chapter says they are viler than the earth. But, yeah, they had to get away from their true nationality, or being named by their true nationality. They had to get away from that. Why? Because it's too much. Well, they've done too much in the earth, and they have a history that they're ashamed of, all right, a history that they're not proud of. So, once they got back in that power seat, they said, you know what, all right, the whole world know that we're the Edomites, but we got to do something about that. We got to change that, all right? And so you get to what, the 1700s? I forget when they, start to adopt that term and use the term of white people. And Salaki for that, I should have that information, on deck, or at least memorized, but because brothers go into that, namely Elder Malcolm in Chicago, all right, he goes into that, and I just forget the date, it slipped my mind, but those are the Edomites, the people that call themselves white, okay? So they wanted to get away from that name Edom, and because what's tied with Edom, I'm going to show you in just a minute, And their whole mission, according to Revelation 20, was to go out to deceive the nations. All right, we're going to get back to this election. I'm going to go to Revelation 20. And by verse 8, cutting to the chase, that ain't right. I don't know what I did. All right, so Revelation chapter 20 and verse 7. All right, it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, let's jump up. So we got to go to the top and then jump back down. All right, because Revelation jumps around. And you may try to read it line upon line and thinking it's in chronological order and get confused, but it's not in chronological order. All right. Revelation 20 has to be precept. All right. And I'm pulling this precept to go with what I was speaking on in the book of Daniel. So we're here, Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. All right. The bottomless pit is Europe. That great chain that's in his hand represents slavery, captivity, servitude. Okay. Let's see who the servitude is for. Verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Now, you may read it in your simplicity and automatically think, oh, that's talking about the spiritual demon, Satan. But it's talking about his cohorts here in the earth, all right? Satan has his servants on the earth, just as the Lord has his servants on the earth. Satan has his servants, all right? And they go around the world masquerading, calling themselves the white people, all right? The wild man. You got to start saying that, all right? The wild man, Esau, goes around the earth deceiving people into believing he's white, all right? Which is nothing more than a status thing, political status. So it says, yeah, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, all right? It's talking about the Edomites as a whole, all right? That's the red dragon, Esau Edom. It says, because that dragon, Rome, the Romans, after Jake took over the Roman Empire and turned it into the Holy Roman Empire, what do you think happened to the Edomites? All right? We about to read about it. All right? And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, right? During the Holy Roman Empire, they were enslaved. Roughly around, because you had a period of time where Rome had to be conquered, had to be taken down. So there was a taking down period, and Jake finally, got situated in that Holy Roman Empire around 300 AD. Late 200s going into 300 AD, Constantine and the whole 9 yards. All right. All the way up to what? 1300 AD, the time of the Renaissance. And that Renaissance, when you go into that term, Renaissance, all right, you got re meaning back, and Naissance go back to Nasai, which means to be born or birth. So it's a rebirth, all right, of who? Or of what? It was a rebirth of the Roman Empire by way of the Edomites. It was the rebirth of Edomite power, all right, superiority in the earth, and then revived, bringing back that Roman Empire, all right. But they was bound for 1,000 years because the Most High, as we just read, he ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomsoever he pleases or chooses. All right. So during that time where the scholars dubbed the Byzantine Empire, which means the backwards empire, but it was the time where Israelites ruled throughout Europe, Spain, took over Spain, even went up into Russia. You know, we start to take over, all right, and ruled for 1,000 years. And as we ruled, we placed those devils, Satan, these Edomites, they was placed in captivity. It says, verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. We're in that little season, the Renaissance. All right. So from 1300s to now, we're in the year 2000, 2024. Okay. From 13 to 20 is, you know, a little over 700 years. Well, over 700 years that they've been ruling. Now, that's a short time in the scope of rulership, because even with them, again, there had to be a conquering period. You know, they just don't, you know, oh, I'm in slavery today, but tomorrow I'm going to be ruling. No, there's a period where you got to conquer, go forth. And then, like they said, and deceive. With Esau, he goes forth to conquer and deceive. So he take over, he remove landmarks, changes the names of shit, call people out of their names. He changed entire nations. He changes the names of entire nations. All right? They have the whole world in confusion today. The whole world is in confusion today because of his renaissance, his rebirth into the world. All right? His renaissance was the rebirth of darkness, ignorance, confusion, and derision. That's what it was, the rebirth for us. All right? But this scripture proves the point. It says that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. So he is loosed. He has had his little season, and that's coming to a close. All right? Now, as mentioned earlier, I'm going to jump to verse 7. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, what we just read. So I'm still reading in context. Even though I jumped around, I'm reading in context. All right, because that's just what we read in verse 3. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations. See? All the nations, which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, under the number of whom, it says, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Okay, so his whole thing was to bring about judgment at the end of the day, to bring about Armageddon. Before that, the MOTB and the hour of the beast. All right, and even before that, Jacob's trouble. That's his whole shit. Why do you think Esau was so pissed at Jacob about that blessing? Esau was pissed behind that blessing. He was wroth, hot, because he understood that he understood his role in the scope of prophecy. That his whole thing was to bring about the end, which is where we are, the end. And so it would only be fitting that an Edomite be sitting in that seat of POTUS as this bitch goes down. All right? Not another heathen, especially not an Israelite, but an Edomite, male Edomite. All right? Not Hillary Clinton, not none of these others, I don't know who else but damn sure not Kamala Harris. All right? I'll be honest. The way it was looking, because Kamala, she is half BlackRock, you know, because her husband is a controlling share. He has a controlling interest in BlackRock. He's a bigwig, a major shareholder in BlackRock. So I figure, shit, if anybody could get that bitch in office, it's BlackRock. They the one got her as vice president, because you saw when she ran, what was that, 2020? That bitch ain't get probably 3 votes. She couldn't even get past the primaries. Talking about Kamala Harris. She didn't get past the primaries. And then now to all of a sudden become vice president and then run as the forerunner for the Democrats as POTUS of this year, 2024, you know, that's BlackRock. She did nothing. She didn't get in there on her own merit, her own political skill and you know, diplomacy, and she just so charismatic and, you know, a brilliant leader. None of that. When the last time we had a brilliant leader? They like to praise Reagan. Reagan was the ultimate puppet. That's why he got shot. You know, for trying to, he overstepped his bounds. All right. And Herbert Walker, George Herbert Walker Bush, CIA had him shot. All right. He didn't die, of course. They just wanted to send a message. Nigga, you can get touched. Don't get beside yourself. Do as you're told. And that's the role of the president, to do as they're told. Even Lyndon Baines Johnson said it. He said being president is like I think that's what he said. Being president is like being a cow in a hailstorm. He said you can't do nothing but just stand there and take it. You know, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he made the comment and made the point as president. He basically said you do as you're told as president. So anyway, let's get back. So the point here is, you know, they were set up to rule in this last time. So, you know, and with this place going out, why would not? Oh Lord, it ain't. I don't know what. Salakia. Yeah, with this place going out, why would not the Most High have an Edomite in that seat? Donald J. Trump, I can pretty much promise you, all right, pretty much. Because, you know, I'm not the Most High. So I'm not 100%. But I am like 99.99999% sure that Donald Trump is an Edomite. You know? So that only makes sense. It's their kingdom. They need to be at the helm when this place falls. They need to be at the controls. You see what I'm saying? So, right. This matter is back at Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. He ruleth this realm on earth. All right, this is his earth. All right. He allows men stewardship over his earth and over his peoples and nations. The Most High allows that. All right. Just like the Apocrypha, we read in the Apocrypha, it tells us because of injuries, let's say crooked dealings, riches got by deceit, that the kingdom is translated from one people to another, because of the wickedness of man. All right. The Most High raise up one. They get corrupt. And he'll raise up another. They'll go to war. The one that the Most High raised up comes out victorious in the war, and then they take over the rulership of the world. That's how the Most High does it. So that's how power works. No one gives up power. No one. And the only time a person will step down from power is when they don't have a choice. Is when they, pretty much have been disgraced and can't lie their way out of it. That's the only time then they might try to save face, try to be show some integrity. Oh, I'm gonna step down. It's the right thing to do. But people in normal conditions do not give up power. And so that's why wars happen. War is two people fighting for power. In most instances, whether it's land, resources, or whatever, it boils down to power. All right. So we're going to go here and get to the meat of this lesson. Revelation 17, all right? And we'll start here, verse 7. And this is speaking to America, all right, and them who run it. The elite, Esau, Edom, all right? Names you've never heard of, all right? Put Trump back in that rulership seat. And so now we can dismiss with the shit show and get on with the bringing in of our kingdom, all right? Because that's what Trump gonna do. He gonna get the prophecies popping. And I don't see him wasting no time. He ain't got time to waste. They don't have time to waste. So, yeah, the shit show and all the dumb shit we had to endure the last 4 years. Don't get me wrong. Shit gonna get worse. But, it ain't gonna be just the stupid shit. Anyway, what I'm saying is, Trump is gonna get the martial law popping. The MOTB is here. They just are working out the bugs. We probably see that next year. And then, Jacob's trouble. And Trump, I could just see him. I could see him ruling, or being a third woe president. It's in his spirit to be a third woe president. It just got that look, like, you know. So, you'll see. You'll see. So, Revelation 17:7, it says, "And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns." Now, that beast is the EU and NATO today. All right? EU is those 10 horns, which are the 10 core countries of the EU, going back to the ancient world. I can name a few. I don't know if I can name all 10, but you got Netherlands, Luxembourg, Greece, Italy, Ireland, France, Germany, Denmark, so I'm short 2. If I didn't say Britain, that's 9. I'm missing 1. And Slovakia, I don't have my notes or nothing, but we go in there so much. It ain't hard to find that out. And I gave you 9. It shouldn't be hard to get that last one. But that's the 10 horns. Now, the 7 heads are the 7 major rulerships throughout history of the Edomites. All right, beginning with Greece. Then you had Rome. All right, Germania Major, Germania Minor. Then you had France, Spain, and Britain. And those are the 7 heads. All right. The 7 times Esau rose up to rule over the world. Major rulerships, all right? And it says in verse 8, "The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit." Which we just read about the bottomless pit. Esau, Edom, all right? That revives Roman Empire coming up out of the bottomless pit. Rome didn't come out the bottomless pit. Rome was started by Japhet and the Etruscans. And Esau just came and took them over. But this revised Roman Empire, the Edomites, they came up out of the bottomless pit. It says, "and go into perdition." That's how you know it's talking about this time, this revised Roman Empire. But in particular, I'm going to read it. All right. "The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition." All right, so that's the whole beast. All right, NATO, the EU. All right, because they did come up out of Europe. The Treaty of Rome and all of that came up out of Europe. What else did they have? They had a few treaties and documents, but the Treaty of Rome was one, a major one. But this is talking about Esau, Edom today. It says, "And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is." All right. It says, "And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth." See, the mountains represents kingdoms, rulerships, which I just explained. I explained the 7. All right. It says, "And there," in verse 10, "and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen," you see. "One is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. You see, and that's the seven. It said there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, which is in reference to Greece, Germania Major, Germania Minor, Spain, and France. Those are the 5 that are fallen. Said, and one is, that's Rome, because this was written in the time of Rome. So Rome is the one that is. That's 6. It says, and the other one is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. All right? Now this is talking about America. All right, so verse 11 explains, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And that's America, all right? So that the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. That's America, because America is out of Britain. It said, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings, 1 hour with the beast. You know, so they gonna live deliciously for a short time. All right, under the treaties that was like the Treaty of Rome and all of this, it set up these countries. All right, the 10 that I named, or the 9 is 10. I named 9. I don't know if yeah. But anyway, you know, they've enjoyed great, you know, they've had their fun in the sun. But now that time has come to an end. So it said they receive power as kings, 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast, which is NATO and the EU. All right, so what I wanted to focus here on verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, you know, he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. All right, meaning it's going to go into destruction and be the cause of the whole shit collapsing. And that's the U.S., the United States of America. So it's only fitting that Esau be sitting in that seat, because he is the very son of perdition. All right, so 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day, which is the day of the Lord, it says, shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin, who is Esau Edom, be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, that falling away is the nation of Israel falling away from our heritage, from our land, from our culture, from our language. All right, that's the Israelites completely falling away from everything that they knew. Now verse 4 says, who opposed it and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, or that is worship, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's these Edomites. All right? So, with them being the son of perdition and America being set to go into perdition, wouldn't it just make sense that Donald J. Trump be in office? Because they don't have no years and years to get, they talk about 2030, Agenda 2030. They talk about all what we're going to do in 2050 and all of this stuff. They don't have that time. All of this is under the rule of the Most High. And the Most High says that, come on, wrap this thing up. That's enough, because even the Most High, he hastening. For, his son to come back and bring in righteousness. Okay. So, going back to verse 10. All right, so I made a mistake. I broke that down wrong a while ago. Revelation 17 and 10, it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. All right. And which that is Greece, Germania Major, Germania Minor, France, and Spain. You say, or you see, the one that is Rome. This was written in the Roman Empire by John the Revelator. All right, he was in Roman captivity. He was in servitude on the Isle of Patmos under the Romans. So Rome is, it says, and the other is not yet come. That's Britain. All right. That's Britain. So Salakia, I said America. No, that's Britain. It said, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space, roughly 200 years and some changes, under the British Empire. And 11 is America, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, America, and is of the 7, he's of Britain, and goeth into perdition. All right, so, yeah. Now we can go to show that the U.S. is of the 7 because it came out of Britain. All we got to do is go to Jeremiah 50 and, is it 12? 14, 12, Jeremiah 50. I believe it's verse 12. So, I'm going to just go straight to the point. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 12, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. So the point here being, of course, is when it says your mother shall be sore confounded. All right. Now, who is this talking about? Let's look at verse 13. Because the wrath of the Lord, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon, which is America, shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. You see? So it's talking about Babylon, not ancient Babylon, not Iraq. America, spiritual, the virgin daughter of Babylon, that's America, all right? Because it's speaking about America being destroyed right here. Speaking about America going into perdition. You see? So that's what it means. The mother, when it says your mother shall be sore confounded, that's Britain. All right? Who did America have to win its independence from? You know, in order to so-called do their own thing and set up their land. All right, you had what you call the American Revolution, 1776, which was between the U.S. and Britain, because America was declaring their independence from Britain. All right, because you had a lot of these Edomites that was brought over here to basically as slaves, but to make money for the crown. All right, come over here and set up shop, because the Moors had it popping over here. So they said, you know, that's untapped wealth over there. We can go and make some money and send these dusty ass Edomites over there and make us some money. But anyway, right. Majority of the people here in America came from the bottomless pit, Europe, Britain, namely. But other parts, I'm talking about, the populace that's here today. Most of the people here in America today got roots that go back to somewhere in Europe, Germany, somewhere, Spain, something. Because the Gadites and the Reubenites, Ishkarites, as far as North America, they were the one that settled this land. But anyway, Salakia for the mistake, but that is the correct breakdown. The five fallen: Greece, Germania Major, Germania Minor, France, Spain, and that's the five. Rome was in power, so when it said one is, that's Rome. That's number 6. And Britain was set to come for a little space. All right, and they ruled for a short time. And then America, the 8th, came up out of Britain. That horn that was more stout than its fellows. But anyway, that's enough. I'm going to end it right there. And I pray that this was edifying for whoever needed it. And to the next one, Shalom.